Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. The only reason I'm reading this here is tonight is because I have the Prez back on the Nightcap, where viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nightcap. Listen, we're back on the Nightcap. There's no day cap tonight. We are the Nightcap. So you know things are always going to get a little weird here tonight. And of course, we're making his grand return back to the Nightcap with your host here, mouthing off with Mike. He is the president and CEO of Boom Broadcasting. Yes, indeed. Everybody wants to be Michael Davis. I've got Michael Davis here tonight. What's going on, Mike? Welcome back. It's Monday Night Mikes, dude.
It's Monday Night Mikes. I have to fulfill my promise that the real CEO, Mercedes Moné, is the best women's wrestler. That was a promise I made for the Nightcap tonight, because I doubled down. I was at a wrestling show last night, watched AEW All In today after work, after Out of Pocket, watched Monday Night Raw. Now on the Nightcap, it's been quite the adventure, my friend.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know we missed you on the day cap, but Derek and myself, we had ourselves a nice little afternoon delight conversation regarding All In London, which was a fantastic show. Wish you could have been a part of it, but I heard you said, you're wrestling. You were at a wrestling show. So what kind of action did you get to see at this here wrestling show, Prez?
Buddy, I wish I had pulled up clips. That would have been fantastic.
Boo this man in the chat.
Man,
Boo
don't boo me today. Don't boo me today.
No.
Boo me tomorrow.
Today is a joyous day. Today is a joyous day for the Prez Michael Davis. Just last year, things, were tough, but you know what they say, man. The hard times don't last. And this man, he went through it, but he's here tonight on the Nightcap. So I'm very appreciative for him and his friendship. And if you want to learn more about it, Mike, tell the people where they can watch that and, learn more about the last year for you.
Yeah. It was quite the time. I don't know why my ring light is changing colors. Who knows why?
Classic Mike Davis with the lighting issues. Classic.
Classic. What else can you expect? So I actually did a Man Behind the Mic episode, kind of being really vulnerable with the people, telling them about the story of, getting hospitalized a year ago today, my journey throughout the fall and this past year. It's a longer episode, but it's not about sports. It's not about wrestling. It's about life. And it's about my life the last 365 days. And, literally a year ago, at this moment, I was minutes away from being driven to the hospital. So it's really good to finally get to sit here and talk wrestling. And we ain't going to the hospital tonight, guys. We ain't going.
That's it, man. We're not going to the hospital, and honestly, it's also kind of a little sappy start to the Nightcap tonight. Wow. I will add on to that. It was just over a year ago that Mike and myself actually connected via Twitter. He saw my tweet and was like, "Your name's Mike, and you have a wrestling podcast. My name's Mike, and I have a wrestling podcast. Let's collab." And I wasn't even doing video at the time, so you didn't even get to see this beautiful bearded face on your phone screens, your television screens, however you may watch the Nightcap. I don't know if you got smoke signals in the sky, whatever. But it was just over a year ago where, we became friends. And a year later, Mike's got Boom Broadcast and taken off the ground. We've got content on top of content on top of content on top of content with Shannon Smith, Sean, Carson, Mike himself has, 500 different shows on Boom. And of course, your favorite late night wrestling talk show host, moi, mouthing off with Mike. So I'm greatly appreciative of Mike and his friendship. Mike, much love to you. I know we're live, but this is impromptu, but much love to you, man. And I'm glad to have you here tonight on the Nightcap with me. And you're strong like a bull.
I'm strong like a bull. You get
Strong
the
like
whore.
Whoa.
Wait, that's a different
That's
night.
a whole
That's a
other
different-
wrestler.
that's
I
a
ain't
whole
thinking,
other
a whole nother
night.
thing here. But we got to go to some of these comments here from Wayne the Model Thomas. Meat. Oh, I can't wait to talk some meat later. They were beating their meat tonight on Raw. And the Prez still picks fantasy football draft picks in a timely fashion. He does.
Aren't you on the clock right now? Can we check?
I am.
Can we do the
Am I
live
on the
check-in?
clock? No, Carson is lagging. Carson, if you're watching the Nightcap, make your draft pick selection so we can get this thing moving, man. We don't have much time. That's not your ring light. That's your aurora. Then he doubled down here, Wayne, and said, "That's not your ring light. That's your aura." So it's not. It's your aurora. It's your aurora borealis, Mike. That's what it is. That's what the problem is. ZWC said, "Tough times don't last, but tough people do." That's damn right. That's a testament right there. And you know what, Mike? I think we've done enough chit chatting and housekeeping items here for tonight. You ready to talk some Monday Night Raw?
Dude, I am so ready to talk Monday Night Raw.
I love to hear. Well, Monday Night Raw kicks off with the Judgment Day, and they are getting booed out of the building. Liv, Dirty Dom, JD McFunko Pophead, and Carlito are in attendance here on Monday Night Raw. But that's not where the story stops, because after multiple snide remarks towards his words, not mine, Mike, deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio, and we talked about this on the Friday Nightcap, that wrestling trope, ladies and gentlemen, you say their name, they're going to hit that music, and here comes the LWO to face off with the Judgment Day, and Ray's going to have a little back and forth with his son. Well, what do we think about this, Mike? What do we think about tapping back into the old history of Ray and his son, Dom?
I mean, it's always like the default, the go-to Dom, Ray. If you don't have anything else for either of them to do, you can always put them in there. It went okay. I'm glad they're seeming to keep the Judgment Day name rather than all the rumored names that were swirling around the internet.
And the theme song. Let us not forget the theme song.
I love the theme song. Do not get rid.
If you believe, oh no, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it.
Is the only way.
We can't. We'll save that for our man Nitram with 3-count trivia.
Oh yeah, we'll get a karaoke night sometime on Boom.
Oh yo, karaoke. Wait, hear me out though. Karaoke, but it's wrestling theme song themed, right? Now we're talking business. Listen, I'm telling you, any bars holding any events around WrestleMania, any major pay-per-views, I'm gonna give you some free game. Host a little wrestling theme song karaoke. I think that would be fire. I digress, Mike. Back to your point.
My point was I want karaoke, but it's dude, this was, I mean, kid you not, there's been 3-4 years, probably not 4, probably closer to 3 years of just, ushering in Monday Night Raw with Judgment Day. Like, they are a staple. Like, I'm almost conditioned to start Monday Night Raw by hearing that epic theme song and have them cut a promo and then lead on to the rest of the night. And anytime you put a mic in Dominic Mysterio's hands, like, it's going to be money because the fans are booing him. Like, and it just doesn't stop. Like, it's become the fun thing to do. I'm sure a lot of people secretly like Dominic Mysterio, but won't say it at live events.
I'll say it right here on the Nightcap. I like Dom Mysterio, but I
like Daddy
love to boo Dominic Mysterio.
Not Daddy Dom.
No, oh Mike, please. Don't ever say that again for your sake, please. Don't call this man daddy. That's never. I'm a secret Dom fan. See, we're all just secret Dom fans deep down. Let's see. Oh, the boys from Boom are out in full force today. Sean said he has to be the only one who takes 4 to 5 hours to make their draft picks. Listen. Okay. As long as
can I screenshot that real quick and throw it up in the group chat?
hurry up.
I'm trying. Hold on.
Come
All
on.
right,
The pressure's on. It's
all
like
right, I got
defusing
it.
a
I got
bomb.
it.
Let's
I got
go.
it.
Let's
I
go.
got
Let's
it.
go.
I got
Podcast
it.
Smitty, what's up, fellas? Almost home and gonna run this back. Yes, Podcast Smitty. Run back Monday Night Raw. There were some gems here tonight. Sean's in for karaoke night. So you North Carolina boys, you guys better figure that one out. And Wayne, like you said, he's a secret Dom fan. I'm a Dom guy, man. I did love though Rey Mysterio calling Liv Morgan a witch tonight. If I picked that up correctly, if my translation was on par.
I thought you were Italian.
I am Italian. I can pick up some things here and there. I've been known to dabble in some things.
Okay.
He doesn't believe me. This is
I mean,
what happens, folks.
We can test you out, but we're live. I don't want to.
No, yeah, I'm not. We're not. Yeah, we're not playing that game. From what my understanding would be, that's what he called her. Now I could be wrong, and if you're a Spanish speaker, you can quote me in the chat if I'm wrong. But I like this here tonight. LWO versus the judge. She's learning a lot about her husband tonight. Oh man, I love it here. I love
Bro.
I love those two. They are the best. The
We're
wrestling family of Boom Broadcasting over there.
Dude,
Wayne and Emmy.
I gotta say something about this right quick. First of all, we're going to get the model in trouble.
Right quick or right slow?
Right slow. So all right, he hit the fast forward button on me. We're not going to get through this nightcap. We're going to get the next year.
Yeah, it'll take.
But no, like
lock in, folks.
You know how if you've ever been to a wrestling show and you have to wait in line, you know how long is if you get there pretty early and like people around you aren't cool and whatever and and there I am standing waiting to go into AEW Revolution to see Sting's last match. Shout Sting, what a guy. Sting better than Dom apparently, according to some of our viewers. But yeah,
Sting is definitely better than Dom. What are you talking about? Continue with the story,
don't know.
Please. Continue.
But honestly, like that was one of the best times I've ever had waiting in line because Wayne was cool, his wife was cool. Like we just talked wrestling, and at the very end, I'm like, hey, we need to stay in touch before we just disperse once we get inside. And I'm glad we did because if not for that instance, if not for us picking that one line out of the 4 or 5 different entrances, we never get the model. You're welcome.
Oh, we don't get the models, dude. We don't. So shout out to Happenstance. Shout out to, they had a little meet cute, as they say, if you ever heard that term. They had a little meet cute in line at AEW Revolution. But it's honestly so cool, man. Wrestling fans are the best. And Wayne and Emmy, man, you guys are top notch. We always love the support. Wayne is absolutely nailing his fantasy football drafts right now. This guy is a force to be reckoned with. So if you're friends with the guy and you're in any leagues with him, you're cooked, dude. The model's cooking you, dude. Back to the matter at hand here. Dom pins his father thanks to Liv Morgan yet again. So I mean, come on. How could you be mad at Dirty Dom, folks? The guy, listen, chicken tendies, chicken nuggies, whatever you want to call them. They're interchangeable in my mind. He got a PlayStation 5. And he's gotten 2 wins now against his deadbeat father. The guy's winning at life. But the problem is he took things a little too far. And that's when the Terror Twins had to step in here tonight, Mike. They had to save Rey Mysterio from getting frog splashed through the announce table. That announce table got some action tonight during Raw, man. Everybody was using that announce table. Oh, yeah. I love it. Everybody was using that announce table here, folks. And at the end of the day, the Terror Twins come out. Rhea Ripley hits that man, JD McFunko Pop, with a little bit of 1-2-3, and Priest hits him. Carlito with a little 1-2-3, and that's the Terror Twins for you, cleaning up business.
Now, before we move on, I do want to say, like, I loved getting to see like the Judgment Day versus LWO 4-on-4. Like, how many times have
Oh,
we
that was
seen
fire.
Judgment Day like all four team up? I think this was the first time we got to see that. And dude, Joaquin Wild, man, I have been a fan of his since Zema Ion, since DJZ. Dude can go
Highly
in the
talented.
ring. Like,
Extremely talented individual.
why are we not seeing more of him? Like, honestly, and I know they're on different shows right now, but I would love to see a Joaquin Wild, Montez Ford one-on-one match to show how good they are as solo competitors. I'd love to see it.
I mean, listen, this should have happened a long time ago. When Rhea and Priest was in the Judgment Day, like we should have seen these two teams as a collective. I'm okay with it. I think I'm just happy to see Dragon Lee back, dude. Dragon Lee, great to see him back. He was missing in action for a while. So I'm just happy to see him back. Just telling secrets backstage here, folks.
Yeah, I want to know these secrets.
Sometimes when you're live, you just get comments and you just question, what people are doing with their time and with their lives. But anyway, that's the beauty of live streaming, ladies and gentlemen. And
we appreciate you guys watching and
hey,
spending
you're
your
a fan,
night
baby.
with us.
Appreciate the love. I'll answer this question. Do you see Trick Williams being called up? In a few months, post Royal Rumble, that I'll see. Absolutely, I could definitely see it. Damage Control took on the Pure Fusion Collective. I still don't like the name, folks. I'm sorry. This week they got new entrances, new graphics, and they actually doubled down on it and did PFC. PFC. Now I'm just thinking of KFC.
Man, Pat McAfee.
And Pat said it last week. He ruined it. He ruined it, dude. Pat ruined it. Because now that's all I hear. I mean, we could have done a little bit better when it came to those names.
So instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken, does that mean Pennsylvania Fried Chicken or Pittsburgh Fried Chicken, Philly Fried Chicken? Mike loves fried chicken. He loves Philly. I'm trying to salvage the name for him somehow,
the
some
PFC,
way.
Man, the Pure Fusion Collective. I think once Mi Shin put it out there on Twitter and called them the stud line, I don't think anybody could top that. I mean, obviously that's inappropriate, obviously, but that was pretty good, Mi Shin. Got to give credit where credit is due. That had me rolling on the floor. I was like trying to spitball this earlier with the lovely Mrs. Mouthing off with Mike, and we were kind of going back and forth on it. We were kind of a little stumped, so I guess creative process a little challenging, right? But I was like, they're all very gifted wrestlers, right? And they're all like pretty badass, right? So you look at Sonya Deville, she got that badass, vibe to her. Tie your hair up and square up was her, motto for a while there. You got Zoe Stark, who is one of the best, in the ring, I think, right now. And then, of course, Shayna Baszler, who is a former MMA fighter and just an overall absolute menace and is so damn good in the ring. I mean, there's like something with like submission, something with like hard hitting, like something along those lines. Like you could have went with like something like bullies or something. I don't know, like if we still have that Be a Star campaign with Don't Be a Bully, but like, you could have went with something like overall there, like, tie in like their submission prowess, like, just saying, Pure Fusion Collective.
I mean, Mike,
car insurance.
I'll do two things right now. One, I'll give you a couple minutes as you can take your draft pick in our dynasty league so we can keep this
You're
going.
lying.
And
I am on the clock.
You are on the clock. Dude, you've been on the clock 2.5 minutes. What are you doing, man?
2.5 minutes.
Are you busy or something? Are you too busy for the league?
I wish we had that interlude music that they play on sitcom. Shout out to the 69 of you viewing this. Nice.
Nice.
You know what? Listen, I could go one of two ways here, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I could go one of two ways here, ladies and gentlemen. I could go with the young up and coming rookie. I could go for the stack here when it comes to the quarterback wide receiver action. Listen, this is one from the nightcap to fantasy football. I gotta gamble here a little bit. You guys know I love me to gamble. I'm gonna go with the stack here.
He's pretty bad at gambling anyway, so
I'm gonna go ahead and take T. Higgins here with the 6th pick, or at the 9th pick in the 6th round. Once again,
yeah,
69.
that's
guys.
pretty good.
T.
By the
Higgins,
way,
baby.
we're making decent progress. Like, we're doing about 3 rounds per day. The model is on the clock. We'll keep you updated.
The model is on the clock. Well, the model is on the clock.
We'll keep you
Emmy
updated
said
on
she
that.
could think of a better meeting for PFC, but it's not appropriate. Oh, Emmy, very scandalous. Pinfall asked, "Do you like Popeyes?" Absolutely, I love me some Popeyes. The other thing was not a question; it's a meme. Now, Pinfall, I did think it was the meme as well, so I will say, but there's nothing wrong with that. Zoe is great, super underrated. Give her the first women IC title. Let her have an awesome solo run. Wayne, all right,
dude. The model's pick is in. By the way, Rashee Rice is.
We're not going to make it through this nightcap if you keep cutting in for draft picks.
I'm just saying. I'm going to update Aaron.
The people are like, what happened to the professionalism that we were used to here on the nightcap? It has went out the window. When you get Mike and me in the same place, maybe not the same place, maybe on the same screen at the same time in the same recording studio lobby, you really never know what's going to happen. Like I call him, he's like the angel Mike, right? He's like, he's the good guy. He's got the halo above his head, right? The lighting is always
that's why my lighting's always bad.
And then, then there's me, who's like the devil. I guess I could be the devil on the side of the mics here. So it's like you got good and evil going on here. You got the good temptations and you've got the bad temptations at the end of the day. But when you mix us together, you get pure entertainment here for your enjoyment and for much of the displeasure of us. Now, listen, I could spend all night on the PFC breakdown and what we need to do about that. I'm going to move on. Zelina did attack Sonya during this match. Damage Control got a big win. And it's crazy to see how small Damage Control has gotten to this point, right? We
just
we kicked Bailey out. I know, just because of injury, but it's when I saw them make their entrance, I was like, damn, it's just the two of them. Like Asuka's out, Dakota's out, Bailey got kicked out. So I'm like, man, Damage Control, but they get a big win here. And Kyrie and Io, chef's kiss. They're amazing. I have no complaints on that. Next week, Zelina's going to take on Sonya. I'm intrigued to see what happens there because I was confused when she didn't come out with the LWO, Mike. I was like, where's Zelina?
And dude,
here she is.
Honestly, what I would much rather have from Zelina is I would have loved to have seen her trade to SmackDown, do a Randy Orton versus Zelina Vega swap if you could. I mean, that's obviously a fair trade.
Some of the trades these guys are trying to pull off in the league this week.
I wasn't going to say that, but if the shoe fits, wear it. Just FYI, I can't speak much. I do a couple bad trades, not in this league. I'm actually pretty fair in this league.
You also took CeeDee Lamb first overall in a dynasty draft.
Yes, I did. Absolutely. Dude just got paid. Talked about it on Owl Pocket earlier today. Special start time. We had to go live immediately when that happened. I was like, I am not wasting time. I'm not patient today. But no, like Zelina Vega, if she could manage Andrade, dude, that is the one thing missing from Andrade right now. Is a mouthpiece. I'm just saying.
Bro. I like the promos. Let him speak Spanish. Put subtitles on, man. Let him be himself. That's a more authentic feeling. That's why I was such a big fan of when they started, putting Shinsuke Nakamura's promo, with subtitles, and they do them for, Io and Asuka and Kyrie and, any talent that, may need it. Like, I would much rather that than like them try to like cut a promo, in English and it maybe not sound as good. Like, dude, they got the technology, put the subtitles. I still think they should have Shinsuke join Damage Control. Dude, honestly, Shinsuke would have been a great addition, and you could have poised him as like, like their manager, like their trainer, like, because he's got wrestling expertise and knowledge for years beyond his years, right? That's an interesting thought. I don't know. At the end of the day, Damage Control gets a win. PFC needs a name change, and Zelina Vega's getting highlighted on Monday Night Raw, so I'm happy. We got another VHS tape here from Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas, and he said that tonight it's going to be more than a reckoning. It's going to be a purge, and I can't wait to talk about this here in a few minutes. We had the first of our triple threat Intercontinental Championship #1 contenders qualifying matches, where the winners of these triple threats over the next 2 weeks will take on all one another in a fatal 4-way to determine Braun Breaker's challenger. My dog's at. We got Jey Uso, Kofi Kingston versus Karrion Kross. I wanted Karrion Kross to win this match, Mike, just because I wanted to see people lose their absolute minds on social media. But plus, I wanted to see Kross compete for the IC title also. But Jey Uso gets a massive win, which he really needed. And this was a solid triple threat here, getting into the action here on Raw. What are your thoughts here while I make my pick?
Yeah, that would be fantastic if you did that right there. Dude, I saw it coming a mile away. Jey Uso winning this match. But man, I would have loved to have seen Karrion Kross. First of all, like, this being Karrion Kross's first triple threat match in WWE, that's wild to me. Like, that doesn't even sound right. But, I mean, I just wish Karrion Kross has been featured more. Like, he was the first signing back of the Triple H era. And Triple H is starting to, like, establish some of these guys. I know we'll talk about Bronson Reed a little later on. But Karrion Kross is somebody I want established. Like, you don't have to put a world title on him. Not everybody gets to be world champion. Let me put that out there, by the way. Not everybody gets to be world champion. Not everybody gets to be the main event. And just because they're not the main event doesn't mean they're well utilized. But I do need more from Karrion Kross. And I hope something with this New Day stuff helps with that. And even that Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston interaction backstage where, Kofi's wearing New Day colors, but Xavier went, black and white. Those are Final Testament colors.
I said that, dude. Woods wearing all black. The bootios are here, right here, just for the people. A little recognition here. Woods is gonna turn heel. He's going to the dark side, and the Aurora's hitting hard tonight, Mike.
Dude. That halo, buddy.
Man,
you either got your halo or you got your bootio.
Hey,
they make sure you ain't booty.
Did you eat Did you eat them, or is that like the t-shirt one?
I did eat them. They're empty.
They were fire, dude. They were fire, dude. I wish they would bring bootios back. All right, I'm going. I already drafted. I went Caleb Williams here.
Ooh, good pick. Good pick.
I mean, I wanted to go wide receiver. I wanted to get another running back. Hear me out. Could have done it, but I decided not to. Let's see what's going on in some of these comments. I want to see Andrade versus Knight and Bash instead of Mello. I don't know what's going to happen. I know LA Knight's got an open challenge on the SmackDown before Bash in Berlin. Things should be definitely very interesting. I will say Karrion Kross, sadly, is on the wrong brand. He could be feuding with Cody. That's a good shout, Pinfall. I'm not mad at that. They do have a heel. They do have a heel drought on SmackDown until KO and maybe Randy turns heel, which I think Randy stays on SmackDown for a bit. But this was a solid match here. Kross looked good. Kofi looked great. Jey Uso gets a big win, and then he's moving on. So big old yeet for Jey Uso. Randy Orton is here. He cuts a really great promo. There was a very funny fan interaction. I don't know if you caught it. There was a kid ringside. He had a sign. Randy sees the sign, goes over, grabs the guy's, the kid's pen, goes to sign it, but the pen is white ink, and it's a white sign. So Randy's like looking at him like it's white, showing him the marker. So the kid gives him the Sharpie and he signs it. And then the kid is just so overwhelmed that he's got like a championship belt and he's got his phone and he's like losing his mind, which was like right there. It's like the encapsulation of like what wrestling, what it means to people, right? We had a couple weeks ago, right? We had a similar question posed to us. Why do we watch wrestling? And it's for stuff like that. That's why people watch wrestling, because you get to have an interaction with that, with a guy as a kid who you look up to as like a superhero, and you just lose your mind. So Randy's trying to give him the sign back, Mike, and the kid doesn't realize it. So Randy's like, "What? Like, come on, take the sign." And I that cracked me up here. But Randy's going to become a 15-time champ at Saturday in Berlin. Mike, do you agree to that sentiment, or you think Gunther retains the championship?
First of all, I just want to, bring some visual aids to the nightcap. Can I do that?
Yeah, bring the visual aids. He's bringing his own visual aids tonight, folks.
And it's going to take a second for the phone to adjust. Okay.
Oh, it's off the phone, for the love of mercy.
Can you believe? I told you to take a second. Can you believe this guy who punted, RKO'd, and then kissed Stephanie McMahon would be cutting a face promo? Can you believe that guy?
I'll be real, man. I don't really think you need Randy to go heel. I think Randy could stay as a face, dude.
Huh.
Like, why? Like, obviously it depends on the circumstances. I'll lean into it if it's like, for Cody. But then again, I also think Randy should stay on Raw. He's a Raw guy.
He is.
When I think of Monday Night Raw, like from my childhood, I think of Randy Orton as one of the guys, right? And whenever he's on Raw these last few weeks, like this month build up to Berlin, everything feels right in the world. Like, we'll see what happens. I do think he wins that World Heavyweight Championship at some point soon. I don't know if it happens Saturday in Germany, but I think it's coming, and I think we'll get him up to 15, maybe 16 if we're lucky. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm less confident in you with how this could work. Personally speaking,
I will say, if you could see, here's the tricky part. If Randy beats Gunther in Berlin, you could tell one of two stories. You could tell the story of Randy caught him out of nowhere with the RKO, and the RKO is still the most deadliest move in sports and entertainment, right? Because it takes one out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3, you're done. Or you tell the story of Gunther overlooked Randy, right? I talked a little bit about using that with Priest, if Priest had retained against him at SummerSlam. He's overlooking Randy. He's already thinking about past Berlin. And that's a classic Gunther thing. He did that towards the tail end of his IC title run, and that's why Sammy was able to get him at Mania. So you could tell that a couple of different ways. I think Gunther retains it Saturday, but we'll talk a little bit more about this week with predictions and things like that. Tonight was the Battle of the Meat. And if there's one thing I love, ladies and gentlemen, it's big, meaty men bumping meat on Monday Night Raw. And the meat beating was intense tonight. These two, I thought the ring was going to explode, Mike. I thought they were going to do the suplex spot. The ring was going to explode. And then Corey said they reinforced the ring. And I said, well, the window is closed. We're not getting that tonight, folks. But we got this man meat beaten through the backstage area to the parking lot. And my man Braun Strowman got a tsunami through the roof of the car.
Pause.
Never. Never.
Oh, dude.
You can keep your classics.
Pause. Rewind. Play. And then maybe you can hit the over on the tsunamis. Just maybe.
You're cooking me. So a good brother Hugh from Championship Culture was like, how many tsunamis tonight by Bronson Reed? And I said, over. I'm putting the over under at 6.5. I'm smashing the over. We got 1. But that 1 was impactful like 10 here tonight. Wayne said we really missed McAfee calling that match tonight. Listen, you would have just got here's what you would have got. That's one big son of a bitch. I got you. Dude, we don't need Pat McAfee. You got Pat McAfee at home here on the Nightcap. Don't worry.
Bruh, more like Pat McAfee on Wish, okay?
Pat McAfee from Temu. Listen, let me cook. Don't hate on
Dude,
me, bro. No.
I mean, that was the one thing I missed about Raw tonight. was Pat McAfee, dude. Like, I know he'll be back for Netflix, but man, we gotta have 3 months without No, we gotta have 4 months without Pat McAfee.
I'm okay with that, man. Because then when
Bro.
Pat comes back, it feels better. It's like a special attraction when he's back. I like
Yeah.
Corey. Everybody doesn't like Corey for some reason. I like Corey and Michael Cole as a tandem. They're good together, I think.
But not Pat McAfee. One thing I do want to say about this, that's Wayne's
sicko.
cutting
You
up in
sicko. I love you.
comments. One thing I do want to point out is, remember when Braun Strowman was being established as just this monster among men? Like, he was flipping cars, he was flipping ambulances, he was destroying everything. And then to come full circle about 6, 7, 8 years later, and for Bronson Reed to be getting one over on Braun Strowman, and Strowman to be the guy to make Bronson Reed look strong, was really cool. Like, when have we ever seen somebody dive onto a car in the parking lot? Like, it was, dude, it was
fantastic.
wild.
That's something you haven't seen since the early 2000s, late 90s, Attitude Era Raw, where people were getting run over by cars and cement poured in trucks. Like, you haven't seen anything like that in a long, I mean, at least on a Monday Night Raw, tonight felt, something was different in the air tonight on Raw, at least for this segment. This segment right here, this felt good. This is one of the best segments I've seen in a while because neither guy took a L, which is always a concern in big meaty men matches, right? You mentioned it, Braun being this guy who was turning over trucks and ambulances and I'm not finished with you yet, to the point of being put through a car's roof by Bronson Reed. While we're on the subject of big men, Mike, we did lose one of the most underrated big men in professional wrestling history, Psycho Sid. So thoughts and prayers out to the family. But man, these two guys, the big man era in WWE and the legacy lives on through these two guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, Bronson Reed, he's going to be a champ. He'll be a champ in WWE. He will hold the IC title, He will hold the world championship. He'll be a champ in WWE within the next couple of years. So loved everything about this. That tsunami was sick. We also had Pete Dunne versus The Miz versus Xavier Woods and another triple threat Intercontinental Championship #1 contenders match, qualifying match. Say that 5 times fast when you're
I'd rather
Go
not.
ahead, try it. And this was another good match, Mike. Triple threat is the formula for Triple H with these qualifying contender matches, and they work every time. We've seen him do this a few times now. This trio, good stuff here tonight. The Miz looked great. Pete Dunne gets a big win. Woods looked great, and it adds to the storyline of Woods finally maybe snapping.
Dude, I can't wait for Xavier to turn. Everybody keeps saying it's going to be the opposite, but no, it's Xavier letting Karrion Kross get
I
into
think
his
there's
head.
potential for Kofi to do it. I think there is definitely potential for Kofi to do it. But after this week, I lean towards Woods. The black gear solidifies that, Oh,
yeah. Dude, especially the Final Testament colors. But, dude, I got this winner wrong. And I am so sorry to my guy, the bruiserweight Pete Dunne. I thought with The Miz and his legacy with the Intercontinental title, he would at least make it to the Fatal 4-Way #1 contenders match. I thought he was going to at least make it there. And, like Xavier Woods has his stuff with the Final Testament. Pete Dunne has his thing with Sheamus. So I was like, okay.
Oh,
there
and
you
Trick
go.
Williams.
Pete's
got beef with everybody. He's got beef with Sheamus on Raw, and he's got beef with Trick in NXT.
So why not just have The Miz win it?
I mean, because you want to give Pete Dunne that rub, man. Think about who's going to be in that match potentially. You got Pete Dunne, you got Jey Uso next week. You've got Ilya Dragunov, Dom,
and Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee is involved.
So I think
Bronson
Dom
Reed
wins that
and
match.
Sheamus and Kaiser. So those
Yeah.
are your next 6. So I think you're gonna see Pete Dunne, Jey Uso, Bronson Reed, and Dragunov. Unless the Judgment Day help Dom. Then I'll see Dom in that. And I could
Yeah.
see Dom squeaking his way to Braun, and then Braun spearing the brakes off of the kid.
And that would turn Braun face, right?
Oh yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you think we're going towards that?
I don't know. I don't know if they'll do that, because then if that's the case, you're right. Braun will go right to the face side because the crowd will consistently cheer for him. They're already cheering for him. They're already barking for him. So, I mean, and he showed up tonight with an actual German Shepherd, which I thought was like, well, my man said, I'm bringing the dogs with me. Not only do I have the dog inside of me, I'm bringing one with me. And then you guys are all going to bark for me anyway later. So, you know what I'm saying?
Woof, woof.
Stupid.
Usually he cracks me up, but then I'll eventually get one on
He
him.
goes, woof, woof, this guy. You believe this guy? Woof, woof. Listen.
That's one big son of a female dog. Wrong person.
That's
Never
what
mind.
Mike wants me to say on the Nightcap, but I'll never say it. I'll never say it. We'll never. This will always be an X-rated show or an R-rated show. An X-rated, we're talking a whole different platform, baby.
Dude,
listen, let me just say one thing to Mike's point. The Miz winning this match would have been nice, because I would like to see the Miz break the record and get that 9th Intercontinental Championship run. Multiple Chris Jericho references tonight on Raw. So maybe Chris Jericho's back in good graces with the E.
Oh, at least good graces, maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, Chris was saying a lot of stuff a while ago, and you know.
And here's another reason to have the Miz. Like, we just had him hyped up on Monday Night Raw a couple weeks ago. Like, oh, he's won a WWE championship. He's won the main event WrestleMania. He's like one of the most decorated stars currently on the active roster. Well, Braun Breaker just won this Intercontinental Championship. If you want to establish Braun Breaker as the Intercontinental Champion, he's not losing the title anytime soon, by the way. No. So, like, why not have his first defense against one of the most decorated Intercontinental champions in history and have Breaker just absolutely destroy him? Like, nobody who wins this quote-unquote #1 contenders tournament.
Second defense.
Are we counting Sami Zayn?
It's a defense, right? He defended his title even if it was a rematch.
Okay, second. Whatever.
Still, I know. I just want to correct you. I just want to be an ass. I know.
Okay, you mission accomplished, chap.
That's me.
Did you see that subtle way I just called him an ass on live?
Yeah. It's fine. Carry on, my wayward son.
Carry on. Oh wait, wrong company.
Listen, we forgot to take our medicine today, folks. We forgot to take our ADHD meds today. I love
that would actually really help me.
Shout out to the 100+ of you that are watching. I don't know what the what's going on in the Facebook world, but shout out to Facebook world. But shout out to the 100 of you watching between Twitter and YouTube. Much love to all of you guys hanging out here at almost midnight on the East Coast. It's early for me, baby, so I'm thriving. But let's get to the main event. I want to spend the last whatever we got left on the time about Uncle Howdy making his long-awaited return to the ring. Bo Dallas, fill in the blank, whatever you want to go with, against Chad Gable, who the more every week Chad Gable becomes Kurt Angle. Every time I look at Chad Gable, I see Kurt Angle. Mike, I have visuals that I don't have to show on my phone. So, how's that for you? What does that make you think? What does that give you?
Bro, the Fireflies. Dude. Oh my gosh. Dude, the fact that we got Uncle Howdy's first ever, in-ring debut a year and a couple days after his brother passed. Like, this is cool. This was cool. I mean, could you say anything more? Like, this was awesome.
As Wayne said earlier, he's got that aurora. Listen, he's got the aura. I know it's a very overused word. I know everybody on wrestling social media says it about every wrestler. They've got aura. They've got this. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this guy right here, Bo Dallas, he's got it, man. He's nailing this. And we've said many a times, Mike, you and me off the air, on the air, your wrestling podcast, my wrestling podcast. The guy, if there's one person that I knew and know is going to nail this, knock it out of the park, and do justice to Bray and his creations, it's Bo. It's his brother. And look, this is a case in point tonight, man. The in-ring work, listen, we talked about this. We're both NXT guys. We're both, we used to watch FCW growing up. We got to see these guys come up in the pipeline, right? Bo Dallas, bro, like, I'll say it a million times, like, he got shafted with some of the worst gimmicks, but he made chicken shit into chicken salad, dude. Like, the B team should not have gotten over.
B team, go.
Like, that should not have gotten over. Him running around the arena with a sign that I believe, being this inspirational, like, speaker, like that shouldn't have gotten over, and it did. And to top it all off, the guy is so damn good in the ring. And now he's finally getting to showcase that with this character work. And on top of it, he's nailing the character work, Mike. So, I mean, I'll let you run away with this. I know, how much Bray and everything means to you and me, but dude, like, talk to the people. What are your thoughts here?
Dude, we could probably, I mean, we're, minute 46, 47 into the nightcap right now. We could spend another 46 minutes just talking about Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, like his career and everything he's done. By the way, shout out to this place that I got bussin' chicken salad croissant today for lunch. It was so good. It was bussin'.
Are they paying us? Are they paying us for the advertisement?
That's why I didn't say their name.
All right, bet.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say their name. But if you want me to say your name and you want your logo to appear, hit my lineup. Hit my lineup.
We got plenty of logo space here on the overlay. I mean,
we do have logo space. Maybe we can get on.
I want to say something so out of pocket right now, but I know I'm gonna get. I know you're gonna get it.
Hey, I'll say this, like, dude, wow, like, and especially like him being put into prime moments, like. NXT TakeOver, the first ever NXT TakeOver was built on Bo Dallas having that, at the time, longest run as NXT champion and got Adrian Neville over, who would later become Pac. Like, I don't think that match hits the same if Bo Dallas isn't in that spot to help put Neville over. B Team, help get The Miz over as Intercontinental Champion in a very pivotal time for that championship. He had come back with his brother and looked like he was about to take this idea that Bray had to a whole other level, and we never get to see that.
Nope.
And that sucks. Like, yeah, we've talked about it, how much Bray's meant to me. We've talked about everything that happened last August. Like, this August hasn't been all sunshine rainbows. I had a buddy of mine, wrestling fan, passed away a couple days ago, which really sucks. So like this time frame for August is not fun. I'll celebrate my birthday here in a few days, but dude, the fact that we got robbed of seeing Bray, help pull this off is bad. But dude, from what I've seen so far, I have no doubt that Triple H being in charge is good. And it looks like he's given some creative freedom to the Wyatt Six, to Bo Dallas. And hey, even shout out like the unsung hero right here. Like we talked about Bo Dallas helping get Neville over, getting The Miz over. Chad Gable is helping get Uncle Howdy over. And I have a problem with somebody who is going to go on Twitter and say, oh, Chad Gable deserves better. He should have left for AEW. No, absolutely not.
This and that.
Bro, like, are you kidding me? Chad Gable was main eventing Monday Night Raw and is the first feud of one of the most important, cherished factions and stories in wrestling right now. How could you ask for any better?
And
It
he's getting
doesn't
the
get
Kurt Angle, kind of vibe to him, right? They give him the Kurt Angle push, the rub, right, so to speak. The theme song now has the ability to go along to "You Suck." Every week, I feel like he's tapping more into more of like that.
the Angle Slam on the
Yeah,
commentary table, dude. Oh, by the way, basically Team Angle 2.0. I mean,
yeah.
let's
I
be
mean, but I'm
real.
cool with it, dude. This is
Oh,
fire.
love
The
it,
Creeds look great. Ivy looks fantastic. When was the last time we saw a ref bump in the main event of Monday Night Raw?
dude. Can we talk about that ref bump? Oh
I
my
didn't think.
gosh.
I was like, what the hell's going on? I was like looking at the clock. I'm like, there's 3 minutes left of Raw. What are we doing here?
Dude, that ref took the biggest bump. You could see, like, usually, like, when refs get hit, let's be honest, like, they kinda, like, slowly fall to the back. Dude, he took a hard bump, and Chad Gable looked, and he's
A
like,
hard bump.
and then once he realized, "Oh, he's okay," he's like, "Oh," and then just walked right into Uncle Howdy. Dude, what a job. Shout out to the referee right there.
Shout out to Rowan running through the crowd with Ivy on his back, kicking Julius Creed's ass through the crowd. Shout out to Dexter Loomis for just being like, I think
Dexter Loomis.
just being one of the best like of the Wyatt Six. No Nikki Cross tonight. I was a little shocked to see the lack of Nikki Cross. I don't remember seeing her. Maybe I missed her, but I don't remember seeing her at all. Man, this main event, it's fantastic main event for Monday Night Raw. There definitely was some dry spots on Raw tonight. But there was definitely some bright spots. The triple threat matches were very good. The Battle of Meat, the main event here tonight, and the opening kind of the LWO and the Judgment Day. Definitely intrigued to see where things go from here next week on Monday Night Raw. Like we said, we've got 2 more triple threats: Zelina versus Sonya, plus whatever fallout we're going to see from Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six, of course. But agree with Mike. Chad Gable deserves his praise. He's not buried. He doesn't deserve better. He's doing the damn thing. Listen, I'll let you say that if he's not on television consistently. That's when you
Thank
can
you.
say a talent is in trouble. Like I'm right there with you, dude. I hate the rhetoric of, well, they're losing matches on TV live. They're buried. Did you hear yourself? They're on TV. They're live. They're wrestling. They're not in the back for 5 months in whatever catering,
Catering.
doing nothing at home. They're wrestling. So yeah, listen, they lose a couple matches. Big whoop-de-doo. But they're on TV, and that's what matters, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, any closing words for the people before we give the nightcap, the wrap up?
So I'm so glad you asked me that, because at the very beginning of the show, I'm like, I know he's going to ask me this, and I had something in my mind, and now I don't anymore.
Way to go, Super Chief. Way to
See,
go.
you know what? That's what happens when you just have 53 minutes of absolute fun and absolute blast. I will say this: this has been an absolutely fantastic nightcap. Love what you're doing. Love the comments. Love the new people in the comments. Oh yeah, let's
Shout
get this
out,
up
Pac
there.
Neville is the best. I'm happy they gave him a win last night too. I was a little upset that they kind of put him to the back burner for the international championship picture. So I'm glad he got that moment in Wembley, man.
Mhm.
Great talent. You guys can catch the day cap with Derek the Devastator from Derek's Wrestling Toys and Tees on demand on Boom Broadcasting. You can hear our immediate thoughts from All In. I did have a change of heart on a couple matches after watching him back a second time. Like, I don't think Jericho and Hook was entirely as bad as I made it sound like. It was an
You hate
entertaining match.
Jericho.
I really don't hate Jericho. I just, the learning tree, it's like I'm in and I'm
Hey
out
guys.
with the learning tree, dude. It's like I'm like a Katy Perry song when it comes to Chris Jericho. I'm hot and I'm cold
No
with him.
cold. You're yes
I'm
and you're
hot and,
no.
no, exactly. I'm yes and I'm no with him, and I'm like, some days I'm like, damn, he's doing it with the learning tree, and some days I'm like, oh man, this guy stinks. So it's like I'm hit or miss with him.
What was the second match you changed your opinion on?
the trios, the triple threat tag team. It was definitely underwhelming, but it wasn't as bad as my initial immediate reactions following All In. I mean, I still feel that given the circumstances, they put on a good match, but like something was off with their chemistry in that match. Like I could just tell like that. Like I don't know. I've said this a few times. Like FTR and the Young Bucks, I think they've done it too many times to now it's like they've done all of the moves that they can possibly do with one another or like countering the moves, right? Where it's like they needed a third team to keep to freshen that up. And then the Acclaim came in and like they were good in the match, but like I said, it something was off. It was underwhelming, but not as bad. Yeah, the best one was Tony Storm versus Mariah May. Definitely one of the best matches on the cards. I went on a whole tangent on this. 15 minutes. 15 minutes for the longest women's feud in AEW's history. You're out of your damn mind, Tony. 15 minutes, dude. On the second match of the night, it was the card placement, Mike. We talked about it last night on the day cap. It was the card placement. Tony and Mariah should have been in the co-main event spot. The coffin match should have been moved up a match. Britt and Mercedes should have moved up to the 2 spot. Everything else could have stayed the same in the middle. That's
I did think it was interesting about Jack Perry and Darby Allin being in that co-main event.
That
I thought
match
that was
felt
interesting.
rushed too.
But dude, the fact that he poured out the glass and we got cry me here, dude. I lost
the
it.
CM Punk chants were gold, dude. I love
It was
London,
so
dude.
funny.
It's a great crowd.
It was so fun. Yeah, I was jealous of Derek getting to do that with you. I went with my buddy to another wrestling show, and his first ever wrestling show, by the way. Like
Valid.
when I say
Big Bill did get
first
over.
wrestling show, I mean like he hadn't watched it on TV before. Like
That's the hell of a way to do it. To
dude.
go to an independent wrestling show like for your first time.
Dude, and it was awesome. Like I got to see him like dude, he was leaning forward, like watching the matches. Got to see Bojack, Diego Hill in the opening match. Got to see Bully Ray wrestle Psycho Boy Fodder and turned into a no DQ like ECW Extreme Rules match. Bully Ray,
Bully
put him
Ray
through
still
a table.
pulling indie dates, really?
Dude, very rare.
I didn't think he was still wrestling.
Bro,
I thought he was just doing the busted open stuff.
It was fantastic. And then obviously main event, Brad Attitude, Nick Namath. And
who won that match?
Obviously the 1-star.
Let's go,
dude.
The Attitude. Shout out Brad Attitude. You can catch Mike's interview with Brad on Drop the Mic.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the vault. We might throw them up on Boom Broadcasting, maybe as a throwback Thursday here in a couple weeks. So we'll definitely get and might have another wrestler lined up very, very soon. But Drop the Mic will have its 100th episode this week, and it'll mainly just be sandwiched in between AEW All In and Bash in Berlin. But yeah, you also have some picks coming up, don't you?
Yeah, man, I got an interview tomorrow with current AMP Pure Champion and my Italian brother, TJ Brady. He is the leader of La Amera out there in the Florida wrestling scene. So you'll get to hear me talk with him, learn a little bit more about him, his career, and the guy's got his hand in a lot of different cookie jars, so to speak, and he's a hardworking individual. So I respect the hell out of him. And as well, I definitely do have some Bash in Berlin picks coming up, NXT No Mercy. And I guess the return of the day cap next Saturday for Bash in Berlin, Mike, because Bash in Berlin starts at 1:00, probably will be over by 5:00, and it's still daytime. So I don't think that constitutes a nightcap. I think that constitutes a day cap. Mike, tell the people what's going on with Boom this week, and then we're out of here, folks.
Yeah, Boom. We'll have Out Pocket tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, unless some wild breaking news happens. Nightcap tomorrow night. Nightcap on Wednesday. Dude, Wednesday slam, like quick hits podcast Smitty. Drop the Mic's 100th episode. Lombardi Party that debuted last week. If you're a Green Bay Packers fan, that's for you. Even forgot Dad and the Boys. I get sit down with my dad tomorrow around noon. talk the CD Lamb deal, talk about Deron Bland's injury, talk about this final preseason game, maybe Dalvin Cook coming to the Cowboys.
Too much Cowboy talk.
Dude, well, dude, it's wild. It Stinks is a TV show movie review that Sean does on Thursdays. He does his own wrestling podcast on Saturday mornings. We got the Day Cat, dude. Wow.
But wait, there's more. And you got an NXT No Mercy Nightcap Sunday night. Cheers.
Do we really?
Bonus. There's your bonus for the week, ladies and gentlemen. There's your bonus content that you wanted. An NXT No Mercy Nightcap Sunday night, a Day Cap Saturday. I'm basically live every day this week except Thursday. Thankfully, I get a night to breathe. As well, this week is like one of a wrestling fan's dreams. You've got Monday Night Raw, NXT, Dynamite, TNA Thursday, SmackDown Friday with TNA Emergence. Shout out to Pinfall for jogging my memory. You've got TNA Emergence this Friday. You've got Bash in Berlin Saturday, NXT No Mercy Sunday. Then the following week, you've got all the weekly wrestling shows plus All Out for AEW. So in 3 weeks' time, we're going to have about 4 to 5 different pay-per-view premium live events for wrestling. So wrestling fans, get your fill with Boom Broadcasting and Mouthing Off with Mike. That's been the president of Boom Broadcasting. He's on the clock. He's got to go draft. I'm Mouthing Off with Mike. Guys, I'll see you here tomorrow. Same place, same earlier time with a new face. This has been the Nightcap. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye,
Thanks
guys.
for watching. Bye, guys.